gotta do it scared. You gotta find a way.
Welcome to Hurting, Living, Loving, Healing. I'm Chris Charlie. Thanks for joining. Today, we are going to talk about some things that are mental states, characteristics, things that I need in order to stay in a good mental place. There's going to be 9 things, and we'll go through them. And before we do, we'll go through a few anecdotes, things to be aware of that relate to those 9 things. And then we'll talk about what those things actually provide for us in our lives. I'm a believer of starting and ending from a place of love. So let's think about something that we either accomplished, something that we do, something that we can think about ourselves that we can be proud of ourselves for. All right. So let's give ourselves a couple seconds here. I have mine. I'm proud of myself for learning and sticking to playing the djembe drum. I'm a beginner and I'm getting better each time every time I go to my jam session. And it feels good to get better at something and to have the stick-to-itiveness. So I'm going to thank myself. And this is something I don't do enough of. I don't give myself enough credit for things that I'm proud of myself for, or that I could be proud of myself for. I just kind of move on to the next thing. And it's a transactional world. So, don't blame me, right? Okay. So we're going to talk about things that help me maintain a good, mentally balanced life. And before we do that, we're going to talk about just a few anecdotes, starting with how much time are we spending on positive things versus negative things? Whether this is things that we watch on TV, whether this is people that we spend time around, what are we doing with our time that is either positive or negative? You can watch rom-coms, you can watch comedies, you can watch touching, heart-filling things, or you can watch dark things, you can watch the news, this is the food that we put in our brain to consume. And is it junk food? What is it? Something to be cognizant of. All right. Goals. Are we setting ourselves attainable goals? And these don't have to be big things. They can be small things that let our brain tell us that we are on track. And we can give ourselves some credit when we reach our goals. So this is something that I'm not good at and I need to work hard at. And when I do, I'm much happier. I like to cross things off. I did this. I feel accomplished about this. And it doesn't come naturally. All right. If we see everyone around us as negative, we might be the issue here. And this is something that I learned for myself because I was extremely angry in this period of my life. And I was convinced, I even was telling my friends, I think people have become angrier and meaner. I was having more altercations in road rage incidents. I was having more, negative glances in the grocery store, all these things that I was noticing, negative. And I thought it was the people around me, when really it was me. It was my perspective. It was what I was putting out in the world. I wasn't smiling at people. I wasn't acknowledging or noticing people in a positive way. It was negative. It was me. All right. people. What are who are the people we are surrounding ourselves by, and what are those energies, and what are the relationships? Um, are they relationships created in mutual understanding and respect and kindness, or gossip and negativity? Really easy to get caught up in those relationships that don't leave us in a great mental place, and hurt people hurt people, and misery loves company, and there's all those sayings because there's some truth to those, so something to be thoughtful of. And then self-care, are we doing the things that help us maintain a good foundation? Otherwise, exercise, do you exercise? Does exercise help you to maintain a good mental place? Diet, um, going to church or spiritual. Well, what are these things that you could do or proactively do that help you maintain happiness or fulfillment otherwise? Are you doing those things? Do you have those things? And are you taking care of yourself? Self-care. All right. Um, so number one in the of the things that help keep me in a balanced mental place, belonging and acceptance. And excuse me, belonging and acceptance lets me know that I'm okay. It's this feeling that I'm part of a larger whole. And it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be part of the Seahawks. I don't have to be part of a tribe. Just my family is enough. And my friend group is enough. And so who are the people that we're connected to that accept us, that we belong to? And are we getting what we need from those people or those groups of people? Number two, hope. Hope is, to me, is kind of like future love. And the definition of hope is the feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen, a feeling of trust, or wanting something to happen or be the case. And I thought those were interesting definitions because I don't think that any one of them encompass kind of there's a spiritual aspect or mystic aspect of hope that is not captured in those definitions. And I think that that's really the reason why hope is beneficial for me, is it keeps me positively connected to my own future. So that's number two, is hope. Number three, belief. And this could be my belief system that I believe in. This could be religion. This could be a belief in something that's bigger than me. But having some sort of belief helps me because it keeps me out of my own ego. All right. So that's number three. Number four, cared for. And this is a little different than just belonging and acceptance, because cared for is kind of the next step, a little bit more emotional than that. Am I cared for? Am I caring for myself in a way that keeps me in a good mental place? Am I also doing things that I need to do for me personally? Is there food in the fridge? Am I doing my laundry? Am I taking care of my personal hygiene? All these things, am I cared for? And those things can also be kind of like maintenance and feeling cared for. Think of like your pet. We care for our pets. What do we do for them? Everything. Cut their toenails, brush their teeth, give them baths, take them to the dog park, feed them. Are we doing those equivalents for ourselves? All right. That's number 4. Number 5, empathy. Empathy helps us understand the people that we love. It's so easy to look at other people's journeys and apply my own layer. Like, why aren't they doing this? How come it's so slow? How come they were so mean? But understanding what people may be going through, what their journey has been, what their traumas have been, really helps me to meet people where they're at, and understand that in most cases, people are working with the best that they have, and they are doing their best. So that's number 5, empathy. Number 6, vulnerability. Vulnerability lets us get close to people, and we have to have strength in order to have vulnerability. So those aren't on the opposite ends of the spectrum. They're kind of sitting right next to each other as strengths. And closeness creates connection, and the only that way that we can get there is through vulnerability, whether that's sharing something that's uncomfortable, making it safe for other people to share things that are uncomfortable, breaking down a hard outer shell and letting people in. It's vulnerability. All right. Number 7, gratitude. We always hear about gratitude. Gratitude lets us forgive. And gratitude lets us know that it's not so bad. It's a perspective shift. And it's also acknowledgement for things that are so easy to overlook. I mean, even when I look around my house, there's all these things that I just walk past on a daily basis that I take for granted. The heat, the doors, the food, the pillow, all these things that make my life so much more enjoyable and so much easier. And we are surrounded by them today in society. And it's so easy to just dismiss them as part of what we're entitled to. And we are not entitled to them. So we should appreciate them. Or I am not entitled to them. So I should appreciate them. Better said. All right, that was number 7, gratitude. Number 8, perseverance. Perseverance is the grit that keeps us going. Things are going to happen in life. And there's lots of things that happen in life that make me want to stop or shut down or retreat or pause. And pausing for self-care is one thing, but becoming reclusive or dormant or stuck is something totally different. And that's what I'm talking about here. So perseverance helps us to bite down when the time is right to move forward. And I say when the time is right because we can't just be pedal to the metal, gas full on in perseverance mode, not pausing to be thoughtful about the things that happen. I also have to process things. I can't stuff things down. I can't just show up with my best foot forward without having gone through some sort of mental process in order to get there. So, perseverance comes after the processing when we need that grit. That was number 8. Number 9, patience, slowing it down. And patience allows us to see life for what it is. It allows us to see things as they truly are. If I go from one thing to the next and I'm just waiting to talk and I am just flying through life by the seat of my pants and I don't stop to take inventory and to pause, then oftentimes I'll move on to the next thing without giving the thing that I'm on the time to actually be what it's intended to be. Or I won't give a person an opportunity to say something that they might need me to hear. It might be profound. It might help me. And if I just shrug it off and keep moving, then it's not fair to myself and it's not fair to the other person. And so patience is what helps us to slow it down and see things as they truly are. Okay, those are the 9 things. Now, these are things that we all practice typically on some level. They're all varying degrees. So, you know, most people are going to belong. They're going to have some feeling of belonging and they're going to feel cared for in some way. They're going to have some empathy, but it's just, are we giving ourselves the opportunity to really feel these things and stay grounded in these things because they're important for me to maintain some sort of balance in my brain. All right. And if I do, then the outcome is kindness. The patience mixed with being cared for allows me to be kind to others. I should throw empathy in there too, right? Empathy plus patience plus belonging, we get kindness. Connection, patience, empathy, feeling cared for, connection. Did I put vulnerability in there? That should be right on top. So the empathy plus vulnerability plus acceptance and cared for, connection. We get these things. If we don't do these things, they're kind of the precursors, right? All right. The other thing we get is understanding. If we slow things down, if we care for other people, then we're going to have a much greater understanding of not only of ourselves, but the people around us, and then the world around us and our place in the world around us. Now, if we're lucky, we might also get some wisdom. And I think that there's very little bits of wisdom in this world. Maybe I've got 1 or 2 bits of wisdom. And if we slow it down, if we have some belief, if we have some empathy, if we truly connect, show some vulnerability, maybe we get a little bit of wisdom. We get some patience. And I have that on both lists because the more we practice patience, the more we get patient. So it's kind of like one of those compounding things. And I have to remind myself to be patient all the time. I very easily jump on people in the conversations because I get passionate and anxious and I just want to, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I always have to remind myself, slow it down, be patient. I don't have to suck all the wind out of the room. All right. We get love with gratitude and belonging, belief, empathy, vulnerability. We get love. Perspective. If we have some empathy and we truly put ourselves in other people's place and take the time to understand other people, then we get some perspective. And then we can apply that to our own journey. And maybe we don't have to go through the same pains, the same traumas as other people if we can have some perspective and learn from other people's journeys. Um, um, and then finally, forgiveness with a bit of gratitude and some patience and some hope and belonging. We can have some forgiveness. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I think this is something I remind myself. If I remember that if I'm the one hanging on to the resentment, if I'm the one carrying around a backpack full of unforgivables, I'm the one who's hurting. So forgiveness is just as much of a gift to us as it is to other people. And on that note, we'll wrap up. But let's do one thing first, and that's end with love. We can thank ourselves. And then let's think of one thing in the next day or couple days that we are going to do for ourselves. Let's see. You got yours? I got mine. I'm going to go meet up with some friends and play some airsoft. And that's going to be my self-care for this week. It's really fun. It's kind of my selfish thing that I do. So thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I'm Chris Charlie. This is Hurting, Living, Loving, Healing. Till next time.
Hurt is the start, but it ain't the end. Wounds can heal, even times of friend hurting, living, loving. That's the road I'm running. Every scar, every tear makes the picture clear.